you. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. Green sea. Green sea roiling and rolling like pea soup. The only thing that has not been angry, a landlubber such as I. Orgasmic dreamland. I fell asleep afterwards and dreamed I won the B1320 on my knees. Signed on Tuesday. Save but 1 hour's destiny stretching itself out all over the tears that insist on themselves. Always fears our spiritual dynasty, retching its insides out after a party. Fetching nothing the still beauty of the arrears that assure us we are sane as peers that wish to break the catching, our purring reason for denial. The spirit that keeps us warm and waits for us through our trial, our fear of error that is. Norm in the dorm, 2 times 2. Space and rhyme, lordly pedestal of grace. Sleeping lasts as long as a poem by a defiant conquistador of the hummingbirds. The vacant library seems to be a singing nunnery. Leaves as gentle as the flags wave at passers-by, like a streetcar asleep at the beach. My exotic version of a vision that tries to be erotic, but is as bitter as an eyeless nirvana that is yet to be a third eyeball of metaphors, golden laid like the evening rays. A nirvana sun stole a lasting kiss through my sleep of tears. Deceit. Cool August flails a serene morning mist of calmer dazes. Sleepy lips are a betrayal. Crazes of foolish penance. Marine laziness beckons as I look to green for less than life and business. Mazes that could have been the answer. Gazes about the full moon, the sky scene grows duller and fonder. The babble it continually arouses my furor and curiosity. Care for gabble, chains clank all the way. Sigh as a soldier of sin and sorrow. My good only friend, there is tomorrow. Blue chickens sing Adeste Fideles in the August that bled to blow my head. And of course there are ways, and it means to sit on top of the world whenever I want to. Tuesday sonnet. Buttline, porpoise, whippoorwill, Chauncey, dilettante, rosemary, calculus, bovine ancestors, Pasquale ancestral, squandered, fascist bar school, talking aloud as horsemen about Mary and her money lovers. Frantic of butterscotch, Jesus is here to make you laugh. Sing 16th and missions phrases. Dazzled, frustrated, frizzy, share with otters, juicy jury jerk-offs. Score for Macho, Quasimodo, Esmeralda is nothing. Her sin and passion look for distracted abundance. Objectivity is for hapless whores. Alfredo like the great, I'm alone at it. Mystery porcupine, at home with my pen. Summer Sestina, 2009. August is a different, wonderful month. San Francisco is like all other cities. It is the same wonderful hot summer that I love so well. Today it is hot and muggy. Wonderful weather for such an old traditional city on the bay to end all weather to nonplus the layman in such matters. Coldest month to blear December, the wind for the wind, the sun hidden. For it is summer again this funky August. Hot it is today. I had to take off that red sweater I bought in the black briefcase. I'll finish this. I kept my poems, the poems once a week that I have. Hot seasons, James Liddy. The month I hope stays hot is October, for it has lasted through the quiet. For once there is heat, quiet. Just for once there is comfort. Comfort that is soothing and stifling, both added at once. The meaningless, meaningful, the weirder we had it, the better month is upon us in October. Orange hot as a pumpkin, garish as the hot noon, the cold sun. Analytical once, it can seem precious. Month of seeming nothing that is derived from the month of May. Is as cold, old and cold as is, and it is January, cold Januar. Faces, it seems, are even pretty. Days hot, and knowing the passion we crave. VI talk, saying nothing, listen to for cries, the loud din complain that there is nothing new this month. For thine is the bridegroom, though it breaks the news that the noon is hot, the month is cold, the memory's thee. So thank you very much.
All right. And are you? Is this your first time reading here?
Oh, I read here years ago.
Let's treat her like she's a new person. Give her a nice big round.
I'm an old friend of Ken Hills.
Okay. The name is familiar. Oh.
I'm an old friend of Ken Hills. That's his picture.
Oh, no, that's Steve Mackin.
Way up back.
That's
Steve
Steve
Mackin?
Mackin. Yeah. It looks like it's okay.
Anyway, this is called Where's the Bus? I actually love walking in the rain. It's probably because I still can. This is called New Year Morn. I wonder what street you're walking down, and how do you fare? Are you happy, sad, undone, unsung? Oh, how do you fare? Are your children well, sick, in the street, or chuckling long and low? Oh, fairly well. And how, oh, how do you fare? Open, closed, or just ajar? Think morning, evening, beat the sun, let the wind blow, shoo, shoo. Oh, fare thee well, and sing, dance, let the bells ring. Oh, fair the dawn and light, embrace the night and every care. Oh, how do you fare? And this is called Departure, for my cancer group and others. I get so lonely when I think of being without you. Lost is more like it, limp, unholy, gone totally amok. Your thoughts and brains jolted me to there where I was before time wasted its metal on this single jot. And I remembered hope with a selfish laugh, a human joy at life.
Thank you so much. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Very much so. All right.
Come again.
Now, the person who presents the keynote does that, but they can also sign up at the open, which I encourage because you want to hear their comments as well. So, welcome back, Richard Sandero, coming up.
Before I read, I want to say two things. Today is February 11th, and 37 years ago, the longest walk started. Thank you. And so today is a good day because we remember what happened. I showed that video because I did the video of that, and to someone who's a little younger than us, and they were really envious because you guys really were doing stuff back then. Yeah, we are, and I'm certainly hoping we're going to continue. We're all not dead yet. And this morning at 2 p.m., a friend of mine passed. At 2 o'clock, his moccasins were put on. His blanket was put over his face, and the eagle feather was put on his blanket, and he passed. His name was Thomas Reyes, and he showed all of us how to live, but more importantly, he showed us how to die. I want to read one. I've read this here before. It's called Waiting, and I'll briefly tell you that when I say Aboriginal from Turtle Island, I'm saying the original people of Turtle Island, which is North America. Not all Indian people call it that, but some do. The hoop is the sacred symbol of 4 directions, 4 poles of humanity, Father Sky, Mother Earth. It's called Waiting. It was the African who turned me on. It was the Aboriginal from Turtle Island that gave me my heart. It was the European that gave me my sorrow. It was the American who sent me to war and tried to keep me ugly. It was the Vietnamese that gave me forgiveness. May I forgive myself. Come back to the hoop. The elders are still waiting. This is called Under the Flag. This was the flag that flew over the genocide of Aboriginals in places like Sand Creek and Wounded Knee, where soldiers murdered unarmed men, women, and children, and were awarded Congressional Medals of Honor for doing so. This was the flag that flew over slavery, where strange fruit hung from trees, and the slave labor helped build the empire. This was the flag that flew over Vietnam in places like My Lai. Vietnam, a country bombed with napalm, white phosphorus, clusters, and poisoned with Agent Orange. A war based on lies from setting up a phony South Vietnamese government to the Gulf of Tonkin. This was the flag that flew over Cambodia, doing the same as in Vietnam. Massive bombings, the planting of landmines that keep on giving to this day, blowing away lives and limbs. This is the flag that flew over Washington, called Columbia, where the overinflated General Douglas MacArthur turned his guns and fired at veterans protesting for their rights as veterans. This was and is the flag that has flown over countries overthrown by the empire in places like Haiti, Honduras, Iran, Chile, Iraq, to name just a few. This is the flag that flies over a nation that believes in manifest destiny. What is mine, and what is yours is mine. The Aboriginals know this to be true. This is the flag that flies over the empire where land, rivers, lakes, and airs are poisoned, entering byways into organisms, wreaking havoc and chaos. Where politicians constantly try to pass laws against the destruction of said flag, while they allow the continued destruction and desecration of the actual thing the flag is supposed to represent. This is the flag that flies over a people it represents who seem to be confused as to why the world doesn't love them. This is the flag that flies over a government that is number 1 in incarceration, where there are more laws that can land you in jail so that you can rot mentally. And the number 1 in arms dealers in the world, making sure we support the forever war. After all, if we don't, who will? This is the flag that flies over the theft of Aboriginal lands and resources, not just in the 18th, 19th, and 20th century, but welcome to the new millennium. This is the flag I will not salute, nor are there any that deserve such action. As Harold Pinter so eloquently wrote, all the dead air is alive with the smell of America's God. This is the flag. This is the flag. This is the flag. This one I started reading one day, and I realized part of it was missing, but I finished it that day. But here's the whole thing. It's called William Shake and His Play. Pain and deep despair in the land. A William Shakespeare play of madness, deceit. No, the eagle's wing is broken, and the gardens are not growing ripe or ripe in their time. Flora and fauna move north and south to survive or die. Life in the seas live in warmer and more acidic waters. The Hopi prophesies the end of the 5th world, The scientists have concluded that we are at the edge of the sixth extinction. Ugly politics are being ignored, believing that they will go away and do no harm by not participating. If true, we should be in utopia. Instead, there are those who are left with the taste of bitter and sour sadness. In my country, presidents are nothing but real estate agents, who in the end, along with the black robes and their creature offsprings, have raped its native people and land for thought and money, and now we give them saints in return. While Willie the Sheikh wrote his play of Macbeth many centuries ago, spoke to the evil of the land, their gardens were dying, roots became knotted and bound as they had in the empire. A century later, evil came to its shores, and at first no one noticed. By the time evil came into full bloom, the presidents and their people had done their best at their worst. It's live evil, evil live. Wake up from your nightmare. Time has come to once again to confront and speak to power. We have been ugly so long that we have forgotten what ugly is. Macbeth, alive, purging, killing, ignoring, has played many roles through the centuries and now resides in the new empire. Everyone wants to thank me for my service, and all I want to do is leave. I know the cost of empire. It sent me to do the killing, and now you want me to forget. As good citizens, we are all supposed to forget. But the damage done to humans and the flora and the fauna and the scars laid on the earth will never let us forget. Macbeth lied, so did our presidents and leaders. We have Boner of Orange and the turtle in the Senate, long on age, but very little wisdom and both keen at the art of deception. This is what you get from empire. Wake up, wake up, wake up from your slumber.
Alright. This brings us, let me just read the next set of leaders. We have Rebecca, then Stephanie, then Matthew, then Adolph, then myself, then Guy, then Jimmy, and then our feature coming on, and we have a few people after the feature. It's going to be fun. So, Rebecca, please stand forth, or fifth.
No voice from you. So, everybody, welcome
I was here 30 years ago.
Well, I remember you were too. Great.
This is called Where. Where are we? Cookies and orange juice linger in your mouth. The cafe was not a sanctuary for me. Where are we? Where are we? This city doesn't suit me. It does not match my measurements, which is no evil of the cities, everyone knows that, but how I wish they knew in their suspicious glance at my hunched figure that my resignation is not an admission of guilt, that they cannot use my humility in the face of the gravity running this show to prove that I am fictional. Because it's so hard to see that when a person has kissed a virus-ridden mouth, cupping that face with hands still healing from raw rubbing with gritty soap, with the flavor of ipecac lingering on their gums and the eyes wet with that expulsion, that they are probably healthier than you are. That's so hard to see through the night that rattles your nerves. You are so scared of me. You are so scared of where we are. Where are we? You and I taste Orangina and biscuits on our crying tooth enamel. I'm sure of nothing except that this cafe and this ill-fitted suit sleeve that encloses the street's piss musk and aversive steam is not a sanctuary. I ask where we are and hope this place, hearing my words, decrying it as a fiction, will collapse away from the material plane just as I do on its inhospitable boulevard. Collapse from up to down, each level of the porous city liquefacting like earthquake sands that tolerates no hollows. Huddled and muttering, I become a misfiring neuron in the mind of this place. I am the neuronal correlate of mutiny, and I feel too smart. This knowledge must go, or I will. This knowledge must go, or I will go to the dogs. I will be fed to their crying teeth. They say, whining through their muzzles, I don't know the intricacies involved in making this meat so delicate and tender, but I feel it is too rich for me, and I do not deserve it. The dogs know my taste, like the cemetery guard knows Mozart's tremulous ghost floating alone above his mass grave. I suppose what hurts the most is that I am a fatted calf that got too pretty to slaughter, and my feed tastes like obligation and guilt and charity rotting in my trough. This is called child-proof. It is whispered over the heads of sleeping children that they need both a mother and a father. I was not an accident. No, for me, the little circle of 28 pills, 7 of which were sugar, were deliberately locked in the medicine cabinet, child-proofed medicine cabinet, which did not stop me or my brother years later from opening it and curiously fingering that circular relic, 21 days of child-proofing and 7 days of the sugar like what we stuffed in our mouths as soon as we got our grubby hands on it. My father told me that my mother's depression manifested in an ever-reaching of the arms, and she thought that she would finally be happy if she had kids. So now I repeat with certainty, I was not an accident, but I was a mistake. This is called Young Whippersnappers. Let's follow the nomads and break off as a pair. They didn't like us much. They said we were devils in the end. Let's roam the exhausted vineyards. Let's look for a famine house. Sometimes with you, it's like tiptoeing around little graves I planted to remember important things. And you haven't the faintest idea about my career in the ballet, but all the same, you scrub my bunions when I come home. This last one is called Adelaide. Adelaide laments that she simply cannot sustain her eyes. Looking straight ahead like that, she says, I feel like they're gonna get stuck that way. Adelaide tells her mother, No, bub, mother whisks, casting the god rays of her gaze down upon Adelaide's dune-ridged brow. No, bub, that won't take. Only those ugly faces you make.
Rebecca, thank you so much. Don't step on the water because you don't want to. All right. This brings us to Stephanie Manning. Stephanie Manning coming to the microphone, please. Give me a round of applause for her rectangle, oval.
Welcome everyone. It's called They're Giving Us Arkansas. Rent, high rent, $7,500 each and every month in the new towers in downtown San Francisco. That's $90,000 a year. Meanwhile, every day workers, their alarms ring, they pray for sobriety, rise groggy-eyed, feed the cat, eat breakfast, make lunch, dress, pack, and out the door. Commute for hours, all for chicken feed. For chicken feed. For the crumbs that fall off the table of the owners, as King said, for the crumbs. And in their free time, they worry, and plan to move, to leave the city. And they do their best, but in their dreams, they are caught in the giant ocean swirl and are being dragged below to Davy Jones's locker, which I suppose is to the great state of Arkansas, the cheap state of Arkansas, where you can still buy a house, a whole house, for the one-time price of $90,000, or rent an apartment for peanuts. Yes, in Tornado Alley. Yes, in the Bible Belt. Yes, a red state, where there are no museums, symphonies, or zoos, light pollution, or poetry readings. And I tell you, that's where they want us to go, to Arkansas. I am filing papers for conscientious objection to moving to Arkansas. I refuse to go. That is where the elephants go to die, as they say, and I ain't going there. Give me a closet, a rooftop, a doorway, a spot on the park, a bed at the youth hostel. I ain't going to Arkansas. My son might secretly let me sleep in a drawer at Yahoo where he works. I can sleep in my car or the kitchen at work. I can tent and am very good at camping. Will the government expel us, the impoverished, like they did expel the Indians? So infiltrate the readings. Point your bayonet at me. I'm staying where God put me, right here beside the sea. You can have your high-rise tower, your money and your power, but we poor folks all join voices so you'll know, hell no, we won't go to Arkansas. That's an amazing run, Tom. I just read that in the paper. Why is it every time we cross the train bridge from Benicia to Martinez in the shadow of Mount Diablo, I feel like I'm the only one who stops what I'm doing to look out the window and pay homage to the 17 rivers that flow from the Sierras on out to the Carquinez Straits. Most of the passengers close their curtains and type away on their laptops without so much as a glance at the water that flows by from the delta to the bay. I wish I could find a kindred spirit somewhere on this commute train, but I am not holding my breath. I'm just keeping my eye out for raptors who love this passageway to the bay and circle around high overhead with an amazing vision, survey the water, the banks, the hillside, the slopes, who know habitat when they see it and who take nothing for granted. Maybe, just maybe, they are the brothers and sisters that I seek. And this one little short one called West Berkeley Amtrak Station, which I visit every day. Morning starlings sing, alighting high on a pole. The waning moon fades as the sun rises. Starlings drum their wings and peep. How they sing and flap. Train light approaches, growing brighter as it nears. Metal, sun-heated. May you warm my friends, the birds, so few are left now, here at the shell mound. Remember the birds. Remember the ancestors buried under the tracks. The ancient arrow, finely crafted, fits the bow. He takes aim and shoots as the red sun set for 45 centuries. The Senate is missing. The land calls to you, but will you ever listen? Complacency, death.
Thank you. She comes here, knocks it out. That's the way she does it. All right. Matthew Rajas has returned after long-time absences. Give him a round of applause.
So I'm a bit out of practice, so bear with me. So my first poem is called, I have two poems. The first one is called A Willow. It's an oldie. I'd say to my dad, it's the hard part to start. And he'd say, nonsense, you can start anywhere. And I'd say, yes, but it is hard to choose. And he'd say, well, what about this tree? And I'd say, it is green. And he'd say, yes, it is green, but what makes it special? And I'd say, it has many leaves. And he'd say, and I'd say, and it is winter. And he'd say, so? And I'd say, well, most trees shed their leaves by winter. And he'd say, so what makes this tree so special? Well, I'd say, it is green, it has many leaves, and it is winter. Yes, but what kind of tree is it? He'd say. And I'd say, I think it is a willow. And he'd say, so it is a tree that is green, that has many leaves in the winter, and it is a willow. But what makes this tree so special? And I'd say, well, most willows shed their leaves in the winter, but this one has retained them. Yes, true, keep going, he'd say. So that would make this tree highly suspect. Suspect to what? He'd say. To being special, I'd say. And he'd say, but why? And I'd say, why? And he'd say, yes, why? And I'd say, well, it is winter, and it is still weeping. Yes, he'd say, so? So I'd say, it must have a very special heart. And he'd say, yes, a very special heart to still be weeping in the winter. And I'd say, but father, it is green when the others are bare. True, he'd say, it is a very special tree. I'd say, yes, my son, true, he'd say. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it. That's the first one. So the next poem is called Autumn Sound. End of autumn sounds when the trees of the starry night swish that special richness, and the parrots go barking their rainbow thoughts. And the clouds that are streaked out like a painting of polyps, where the lines are soft rosy hues and the air is soft almost as if reassuring every inch of bare exposed skin. Not to worry, because tonight will not be cold, but the sound of boys moaning behind closed doors, and Swedish massages and freshly boiled tea, and casual glances and dark pink colors, and the smell of myrrh, and the smell of the jasmine vine, all coiled around a once proud but seedless oak. And the sky all huey and playful, not to mention the brief glee falls with the last remnants of that old sparkly dream, warm like the inside of his mouth, the last cherry pie from springtime, and the tremendous secrets of alleys between houses with the Indian soul of the earth, the Indian cosmic war song, with the Indian roots of trees, the ever-changing leaves and the soft blissful breeze, and the canoe paddles and the ripples and the silence, intermixed with vast unrepeated horizons. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord. That brings us to Adolph, then Ben, then Guy, then Jimmy, then our teacher. Adolph, come on up.
All right.
There he is. Give him a nice round. And just come around this side so you avoid the tangle of what we in the showbiz used to call spaghetti.
All right, here we go. First off, why right? I think it's good right here, isn't it right? Why right? What you talking about? Why? Who said? Cause I'm not dead. That's why right? A talk or how you say it, get out of my head. What God is really, what I really want to be said. See, cause I see through. I suffer too. And believe before you can, I want to tell you, think a little longer. What I write for is a gift my papa had that came to me. I feel free, see, be a lot. So I write and think a lot, cause I'm scared to say what's on, where I'm on at on a certain issue, so I write. Not on paper, but on my mind strength. Oh, I could sing what's on the mind, so I write, so I can read. Thank you. All right, this is about a veteran who was in special forces. So I told him, bad as can be. Combat worn, cause you combat born, all the way to the bone. Combat acting, hat, knuckles, feel, command well. Love better come by the minute, cause without I can sand, pan, howl, explode, oh. Now, what? Looking at it rain, something to relieve the shock, the rumbling, the adrenaline over here, lady dress. Not paying you no mind when you play a tune with your lips, making the noise, rocking like James Brown was in you. Cause combat worn, combat torn, all the way to the bone. And for a little humanity on my side of the fence, I don't know, I'm gonna put it like that. This man, hey, I know about pick down or putting down one state and the bang of us. This man, I was able to move from place to place, not getting caught in, hope in one place, not making a stand. This man thought that having many honeymoons by himself, with himself, for himself, made him a force, a power, not to be denied, a ruler of himself. This man is finding out that's not the way. But who is he to say? This man is in the line of other men who gave up their reasoning, not for a cup, but for all of us. This man, through the sit-ins and marches, the sit-ins and preachers, the bumming and bummings and burnings, remember this man had someone before he was another man. This man. Thank you.
You don't need no microphone. Hey, thank you.
me to you once again.
Oh, in case those, although, let me start that sentence. In case there are those of you who would like to get the emails that I occasionally rarely send out twice a month, this is the email list on the back of this. There's the sign-up sheet, but there's the email list. So at the break or somewhere whenever you want to play. All right.
So, huh? Oh, that's right. I didn't do the number thing this time. I'm sorry. All right. So this is a poem. It's not really, well, okay. It's an assemblage. Occupy Wall Street. And as I watched that unfold on the web and the net and here in San Francisco, I saw many people with homemade signs. So, in order to make this collection, the sign had to be homemade, crayon, poster paint, or whatever. Even if later on I saw it in some kind of printed out format. If I saw it first homemade, then it was a candidate for this list, and then it had to be poignant. All right, so I'm just going to read a bunch of these, and then this poem to show. This is why, and this is like what we look forward to. Okay, so here we go. Fight back. The odds don't matter anymore. Suck my debt. Thinking for yourself is the new black. The world holds enough for everyone.
Oh. Sorry about that.
When I give food to the poor, they call me a saint. When I ask why the poor have no food, they call me a communist. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be bankers. I'm already $38,750 in debt, and I don't even own this dollhouse yet. The power of the people is stronger than the people in power. 99-1. Those are great odds. Eat the rich. You can't evict an idea whose time has come. They only call it class warfare when we fight back. Be an Occupioneer. Uncle Sam says your First Amendment needs you. If not us, who? If not now, when? I was told there would be cake. Divest from wank America. Decolonize Wall Street. Wall Street is on occupied Algonquin land. I love the smell of pepper spray in the morning. Wall Street was formed as a market for slaves. Some things never change. It's a planet, not an empire. Save the planet? The planet's fine. It's the people who are. There is no planet B. The revolution will be crowdsourced. Think global, eat local. Resistance is fertile. Grow a revolution, plant food. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. I awoke in a sweat from the American dream. Second time I fought for my country, first time I've known my enemy. The revolution will not be televised. Occupy in your face. I want a future that can't be bought. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. American Revolution 2.0. Protest beyond the law is not a departure from democracy. It is absolutely essential to it.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
So that's why, and this is what you might look forward to. This is actually an optimistic poem. It's called Worlds, and it's dedicated to Carlos Ramirez, who's right bar. He never heard it, but it's the kind of thing I knew he would like. Anyway. Oh, my friends, there are worlds, and good ones, beautiful worlds, so wondrous and full of marvels as to make one weep. There are worlds where peace is all there is, and nature is let to run rampant. The verge is ranked with skies and seas full of life. Animals who see your soul's light with hearts innocent of fear or rage. There are worlds gowned in clouds of delight, graced with rivers of love, where ranges upon ranges of emotional peace rest under the glowing countenance of their moons dancing in the firmament. Worlds such as songs are made of, as epic poems might suit, where painters upon an overlook could gaze at a life's work set before them. Where God is happy. Life tame, and where we'd all be glad to be, were we there instead of where we are, dazed and confused by our earthly illusions. Oh, forsake fight and flight, let go of what our past, history's unending sorrows, poor reasoning, and martial drums. For there are words, this poor scribbler asserts, no artist could hope to convey without a proper preparation, a long, restful life of enjoyment, a million-year picnic. Then they could provide a semblance of one such word. So, I tell you, this is a magnificent universe, well made and fit for who but us, or those of our kind. It is like the mystical Ganges with its endless beaches, where each glowing sand grain is a full repository of galaxies strung like beads set in a glowing firmament of stardust. So, there are worlds. And then there's us. And our longing, our song so profoundly deep and unending that even this grand universe and all of its works couldn't possibly contain it. Or so I feel, my friends. Or so I feel. Thank you.
All right, everybody here this evening. Thank you. Thank you. My mother thanks you, my friend thanks you. My dad's best friend's cousins on his uncle's second cousin's first side. Guy. Is Guy here? I'm here. Okay, Guy, and then we got Jimmy, and then Jim, the rest of the goes coming up here and talking to you, but not like this. Yeah, I'm talking. All right. Talk better like this.
I have one thing to share, and then I have one thing to recite.
Oh, good.
Here it is. No recipient. 12th century origin of the word nice meant something or someone to be silly or stupid. Not very nice, is it? Alright, so here's a little poem. It's called Can a Lover Be a Lover If a Lover Gets No Lovin'? This cake needs to come out of the oven. In the entire world of this and that, for every head, there's got to be a hat. For every hand, there's got to be a glove. For every lover, there's got to be a love. For everywhere, there's never any place. For every smile, there's got to be a face. For every elbow, there's got to be a pad. For every mom, there's got to be a dad. For all the many, there's only just a few. For every mystery, there's got to be a clue. For heavy luggage, there's got to be a grip. For every flop, there's got to be a flip. For every tree, there's got to be a top. For every beat, there's got to be a cop. For every foot, there's got to be a shoe. But can a lover be a lover if a lover gets no loving? For every me, there's got to be a you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jimmy Mankind, come up here, please. Get you bring your flip-flop laptop.
I never do this, but I'm going to do it tonight because this has been such an exciting thing. Spakuza and Guy are both from Wisconsin, so we're like, I forgot my Wisconsin home. Crazy.
Next time.
So this is going to be here. I changed everything. So it goes like this.
Where do you want? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is your hat on?
No.
Thank you.
For every head
I'm
there
going
is
to
a hat.
interrupt you from now on because I mean you get always mad at me when I interrupt you. I'm stopping right now.
This is called heaven. If we can imagine heaven as a place for after our death, why can't we imagine heaven as a place for after our birth? If we can imagine heaven in a place high in the sky, why can't we imagine heaven as all over everywhere, down here on earth, where we can use it in equal proportion, whatever we're worth? Then we would ridicule liars who would destroy nature with one hand, while they pretend to revere her by touting survival of the fittest, uber alles, with the other, as the natural law of the land. When we can plainly see species sharing the land and the sea, not only in balance, but peacefully. Everything is used, true, but nothing is annihilated. Even the war between fungi and bacteria that gives us penicillin et al. Is only resolved by slamming this thing against the wall. Okay. No.
You interrupted.
When we can plainly see species sharing the land and the sea, not only in balance but peacefully, everything is used, true, but nothing is annihilated. Even the war between fungi and bacteria that gives us penicillin et al. Is only resolved with a message: do not replicate here. Nothing is wasted, and none are eliminated. Even the strongest will become one with the land, devoured by the meekest of all, the bacteria. Is that what he meant when he said they shall inherit the earth? Thanks for giving of yourself to remind us all that we care. And we all are working for a better world for all. That's just a little more fair. The beast from within that compels the pathogens, self-serving lies, would lead us all to the dead zones of a one-species planet, where weeds and rats form the parameters of style, and oxygen tanks replace the wafts of fresh air. It's doubt that propels us to survive it all, fear in the night that God will not be there. But if there be one or many to lead them to victory, it would be survival of the sickest, not of the fittest. Hard as the life of a sailor, wise as the royal inclusion of the rollicking, becalmed, lush-loving sea, climbing the roiling mountains of storms within 60-foot waves, through prairies of sorrow amidst the doldrums of loneliness, over mountains of magic, rolling forms of agua. He sees the truth in simple ways. You either live or you don't. Sink, sail, or swim. The guardian of the microcosm of the vast heaven below. He knows only the ocean can snuff us out. Only the ocean can save us. The hard fact of life is, only the tough survive. How hard is the ocean? As hard as plankton. You save the plankton. You save the planet from the evil pathogens of mankind. His daddy used to tell him, be nice to the ladies, son. He was right. If you want kindness as its own reward, women might get lost, don't we all? And maybe don't always know their right from left. But women, don't rob taxis. Have a good ride. It's hardly 5 million seconds. Okay. This is called Chop Wood. I was sad. It doesn't matter why I was sad. I was sad. I didn't know what to do. I was so sad, I did nothing for a long, long time. I went down. As I went down, gradually I learned not to decide is to decide. I finally became so sad, I had to climb the mountain of sorrow to see if the other side was as sad as this one. At the top of the mountain, I met the fool on the hill, who lived where he could see both sides of the mountain. One side abrupt and rocky, the other gently sloping and easy. It was said, fool could always see every side to every argument. That's why people called him the fool. They always thought that one side or the other had to be right, and the other one damned to purgatory in every case. Yet they came to him constantly for advice, and even though he had nothing to show for it, everyone asked him for answers. The fool on the hill. Me too. Of course, I asked him how come I was so sad. Instead of answering, he asked me a question. No surprise there, since I heard the most wise often encourage inscrutable repartee. The fool asked me if I was sad for myself or sad for the world. I said, I'm part of the world. The fool said, do you want to walk on the water? I said, of course. Then I could walk to Japan, study Zen. But first I'd have to learn to sleep on the ocean. And I trailed off and thought, why would you want to walk on the water? He answered, do you want to swim in the sand? He took my head in both of his hands, shaking my brain gently, said, with your poet's heart, stop chopping water, carry water. He offered calmly, chop wood.
All right. This evening's feature, Jean Marie Spicuzza. I'm going to do she has books, movies, CDs, publishing, awards. I mean, this person is a person, a human person, caring, kind, and over the years I've seen her read several times, and it's like the range, a lot of different subjects, topics, approaches, styles. So you're in for a real treat. It's a really great pleasure to have her here. Come on up and just knock the out of these people's brains for us.
Give her a nice big round and start this up.
Thank you, everybody. It's so great to be here. Dan invited me to come, and he didn't know I wasn't local.
Yes.
So I came from LA,
Yes.
because I didn't want to turn Dan down because he's great. So let's applaud him as well. And this is going to be a compliment to you all because when I go to a venue, I'll always have my idea of what I'm going to do, and I'll usually make a set list of some kind. And then as the night goes on, I start thinking about what I might do. Be very flexible and feel the crowd, because I'm not just up here to spew stuff out. It's all for all of us, And so I must say that you are one of the most challenging rooms to read. And I think that's a really good thing, because I'm like going, that one, that one, that one, I don't know which one. So I think that's kind of cool.
Give her a nice round. Good job.
Now, Dan and I also talked about the theme of love, and we all know, it's so challenging in the English language. We say love, and that means so many things. Isn't that one of the most loaded words of all time, the word love? So I think there's a thread here we're going to see, and maybe we'll all follow it together. For God's sake, the paper salesman. On the flight from Omaha, the paper salesman told me, you have to be realistic. Funny, that never helped me much. I always heard this, I love this story. There was a story about, if you're familiar with the playwright, Gabriel Marcel, very existential playwright, and an interviewer was trying to come up with something, a question that would be very profound, that would lead to some very lengthy response from Gabriel Marcel, something highly intellectual. So he asked Gabriel Marcel, where did you first find God? And Gabriel Marcel simply answered, in another person. In another person. This is called You Are My Art. You are my art. I fell in love with you long before you left my body, but it's not what you think. I knew of you before the lady at the free clinic who showed me pictures of fetuses.
I was halfway through my junior year in high school and had decided to work hard, but suburban schools weren't used to white girls walking their halls, 16 and pregnant. Out of 700 students, only 3 talked to me while the others whispered as I went by. And the teachers, yeah, I guess they missed the lecture that explained that pregnancy isn't infectious, and that by calling on me when I raised my hand in class didn't mean their teenage daughters were going to catch it. I told the vice principal I considered dropping out. He said he thought it was a good idea. The secretary asked me what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to get a GED and a degree in architecture and fuck you all. I have found journal entries from them that say the music's over. I guess my career in the arts is gone. But I have fought like hell. And the child I gave birth to gave me back everything that is me with a knowledge of myself, and she is my art. And the reason I am standing here performing this poem. I don't propose to be pro-life or pro-abortion. I do know that anyone else's choices for me would have been wrong. I make my own choices. My choices make me who I am. I say my choices make me who and what I am, and that is everything to anyone who bears a right to breathe, and she is my art. I have always thought that the auburn of her hair grew like fire in my belly with all the anger, hope, will, love, and fear, and burst the bag of waters, and she came. When I've wondered why I should even be alive, she spelled out in paper letters on the dining room table, help, I need you, my girl. You are the reason for my life and the doorway to my heart. And long after I am gone, you will be my art. And that's love. That's that four-letter word of love. And there's other forms of love. We talked about ex-boyfriends before the ex-boyfriends, yeah, or ex-girlfriends, you know, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-people, friends. I think I know this one. It's also kind of about how California and Wisconsin don't always mix. Moist eyes, Merv and Shelley. I came to visit you in LA, and you seemed strangely gay, less heterosexual than you did in Milwaukee. Your friend Larry on the couch is suspicious. Your moist eyes, your fine soaps, your monkeys in the hallway, very clean apartment, what have you, all lead me to believe, but no. We sit together and argue over my fornicating behaviors and your adultery, compassion, just missing 2 tickets from the fire commission and parking attendant outside, just like in a dream. What does it all mean? You tell me to stay, but upon leaving, you're getting into a car with a Larry. And I've got a funny feeling that I won't be seeing you again. And in a few months, just outside the Hollywood Bowl, I am going to egg your car. True story. And on top of being a wife, oh my God. I wonder if I can do this one. This is kind of loud and angry, but I think it fits some of the poetry tonight, right? I mean, and there's love in that too. I mean, see, this is the thread. There's love in that too. We are human beings. We feel things. We feel fear. We feel anger. We feel sorrow. So, what the hell? The American dream is alive, alive. The American dream is alive. 1 out of 3 million makes it. Julia Roberts gets 20 mil. We don't pay for talent. We pay for ticket sales. Good work, boys. The public pays Hollywood white male executives for a job well done. The American dream is alive, alive. The American dream is alive. Convenience, contrivance, polysorbate, the side effects of Prozac, the stuff they put in Spam, sweatshops, Regis, Kathy Lee, $1 million on TV, artists, prophets, starve in streets, and my, those Skechers sure look neat. The American dream is alive, alive, the American dream is alive. Bombs away, New York, LA, School of the Americas, assassin sail, oil and land, lend a hand for no one. It's mine. The American dream is alive, alive, the American dream is alive. Build it if you got it. Get it while you can. Jack up lines of credit, stick your fingers in the fan. Debt, debt, the national debt. They own the nation. You own it. You owe it. They own you. I drive a black Mercedes, denoting my success, defined as what other people think of me. Capitalism breeds perpetually arrested, adolescent, intimacy, incompetent, money-making machines. Wake the fuck up. Convenience, contrivance, constitution, institution, dissolution, revolution, revolution, what goes around comes around, earth turning, karma bound. The American dream is alive, alive, the American dream is a lie. Accountants taking day jobs, lawyers out of work, politicians in the middle class, military kiss my ass, poets make a living, artists living well, commercial world sinks underground, and Nike goes the fuck to hell. The American dream is alive, alive, the people are again alive. Woo!
Thank you.
I like that.
I knew you'd like that one, Richard. I had a feeling you'd like that one. I knew Richard would like that one. Guys over there might not want to go. Okay. Well, on a similar note, I guess. Do we keep going?
Yeah. Do you want? You said a cup of water.
Yes.
Would
Would you
get that?
Jimmy, will you hand me that white cup? Or the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. Here we go.
Oh, thank
Well, just ask. We're here to help.
you.
Keep the cap right there in case you need it.
I bet a lot of you are familiar with this because you're poets too. You know how you get that dry mouth thing? Because you realize like you're inhaling and exhaling at these extremely rapid successions that you're not used to. Okay. I wrote this when I was in England. And that's all I have to say about that. I wrote this while I was in England. Men succeed where women are sluts. And I don't remember the rest now. I'm going totally blank, and I know this poem like
It's a
that.
great poem. I heard your favorite poem.
Thank you. The opening was great.
I think I was going to like that one too.
You like that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had blanked
Well, don't you have it written down somewhere?
somewhere.
Over there?
No.
Take your computer out. See if you can find it.
Yeah, see what
Yeah,
yeah, I can do something else. Okay.
Which your computer, the laptop. Look on it. You can
Her
find it.
phone's not in my.
It's online. You go online.
It may not even be online.
Okay. Well, the video was.
Oh yeah, that's right. The video was online.
That'll Kickstarter and every mom.
It's so weird. Isn't that funny? That's starting to happen to me more and more. Where it's like, you know something so well, and you're like, I don't remember that. I know. I know what you mean.
You have any Maya Town?
Oh yeah, I can do something on there too. Should I do something else? Oh God. You guys want to laugh? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you laugh now.
Oh, dear.
I think there's love in this too. Oh yeah, there's love in this too. This is called Sicilian Monopoly. Sicilian Monopoly is the best. It's a challenge. When I played with my cousins Giovanni and Claudia and their friend Roberto, I was pressured to trade my properties. But I was doing well and I didn't need to trade. My cousin Giovanni said, "Oh, you must trade." "No." I said, "It's the game." He exclaimed, "No." I replied, "Ah." He said, "You're like the Sicilianas." Then he picked up my houses on Park Place. But I am mafia. If you do not trade, do you see these houses? I burn your houses. I didn't know you could do that. Giovanni explained that Roberto's house was really burned down by mafia. What? I cried. Yes, Roberto said, it is true. But why? I asked. We wouldn't sell, Roberto commented. Weren't you upset? I asked. No, Roberto answered. We had the insurance. I asked my cousin Giovanni why people in Sicily are so casual about mafia. Because, Giovanni said, talking about mafia is like talking about the weather. It is normal. I traded St. Charles Place for Oriental Avenue. It's tough to buy and sell real estate in Sicily, even a monopoly. They really like that in Chicago. There is some funny business still going on in Chicago. Are any of you familiar with the Green Mill? It's where poetry slams started with Mark Smith. And I guess in the bar, they actually still have like this little secret passageway that Al Capone used to use and stuff like that. You know?
They have them here in the city too.
They have them here?
Well, not Al Capone, but they have places where you can go. They used to have speakeasies, and they're still there underground.
And they still be underground
They're
there?
still there.
That is a funny story I have to tell you guys. My sister was working at the SF Weekly as a reporter for some time, and I came here for a reading, for a series of readings, and down the block, she was living near Dolores Mission, the Mission Dolores, and there was this awesome Italian deli that made homemade ravioli. It was so good. So I go in there one day to go buy the ravioli. The guy at the counter, I swear, I thought he said, "Are you a Dago?" And I looked up at him, I was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "How's your day going?" And I said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you now what I thought you just said." And he was like calling her, he's like, "Hey, Bobby, hey, Tony, come over here, you got to hear this one." And they're all, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in San Francisco, this is so cool," because they get the joke.
Is that the one on 22nd Street?
I think
Very
so.
good.
Yeah, it's like a few of them I think are family members or something.
Just a couple of family business guys doing business, you know, hey.
I'm gonna do one about my husband. It was originally called "My Boyfriend is a Mellow Anal Retentive Punk Rock Drummer. What's Not to Love?" But we married, so now it's my husband is a mellow anal retentive punk rock drummer. It had a happy ending. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like we're making progress with finding.
Are we finding it?
So, yeah.
No, it's funny. It's just like the first line that I cannot remember, and the rest of it is there, but I can't. It's like the first line or two. It's like, what was that I said? All right. My husband is a mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer. What's not to love? The first time I called him on the phone, he said, "Hello, Guy? Yeah. Did I wake you?"
Yes, you did.
That's not what you said. This is what you said. I said, "Did I wake you?" And there was a very long pause. And then he said, "No. Why does everybody else think that?" I said, "The answer to the question. My mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer doesn't have tattoos. That wouldn't be neat. He never cheats on me. That wouldn't be clean. He picks up after himself, likes to do the laundry, makes his own food. My mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer, in the tradition of many drummers, was a bachelor for a very long time. My mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer is like a basset hound on Quaaludes to my chihuahua on crack cocaine. So we balance each other out. He doesn't French kiss much because it's messy, but he's German and he does let me grab his butt. I'm Sicilian, we're the biggest butt grabbers in the world, so this is a good thing. I love my mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer. He fans his drumsticks, organizes his soaps according to size, and his tour t-shirts according to style. When he folds them, he puts the gap to shame. I once told him the worst thing I could do would be to mess up his t-shirt closet. "No," he said. "Why?" I asked. Long pause. "Because they're all color-coded." If my mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer weren't a drummer, he'd probably be a serial killer. Sorry, honey, it's true. He's 15 years older than me, so I like to fantasize I'm like his Lolita, and he's my sugar daddy, but that's impossible because he's a drummer and I'm a poet. We don't have to worry about money because we don't have any, but it's fun to imagine. He talks dirty, though, and he has great rhythm, knows how to approach by tempo. That's true. I love my mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer. He says, "Dig it," like an old 70s rocker. He takes a very long time to answer my questions. I come up with 13 answers in my head before my mellow, anal, retentive punk rock drummer says anything. His best friend is mellow, too. When they get together, they probably say, "Hey, man," followed by a very long silence, and then, "Bye, man." Experts say you gotta work to keep the romance alive, maybe make a few babies at 5 years of the relationship, but they've never dated my mellow, anal, redundant punk rock drummer. He's not obsessive compulsive, so he's new and exciting every day.
I think you have.
It's your performance.
Okay.
You have to just hold
This
it
is
to
me
the
doing
mic
it? Okay.
and do it.
Okay. Let's see. What did I say?
Over there,
Oh.
so you know, meander, I plan to do the same.
Oh, that's me talking. This is the Santa Cruz Poetry Festival.
That's the one.
Just put it to the mic and let it rip.
Okay, one of the things I said in this festival that was kind of cool, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before. No, I have to keep going. But can I borrow it? Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I pointed out here, I don't know if any of you know, maybe I should do this like a quiz kind of thing, because it's like group involvement, we can all get involved. Does anyone know the origin of the word conscious? Anybody?
With science, how about that?
You're very close.
With knowing.
You're very close. You're very close.
Yeah.
See, it's actually, you're very close.
What do you say?
Well,
Turn
con
that
is
up.
with and
Yes.
cienso.
You got it. So con is with,
Yeah,
and then there's cyan,
yeah.
which is now the name of, or, you know, the maker of
With
whatever.
feeling.
Hmm?
With feeling.
You are close. You are all very close. Interestingly, okay, so con is with
Yeah, yeah.
points, and you said knowing. Cyan actually means to be aware. So conscious is to be aware with. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Yeah, I think the to be aware we work toward a lot, and the with part is the part we really have a lot of work to do on, right? That, yeah, to be aware with. But I like that, yeah.
What about to be a werewolf? I was waiting for someone to say, oh, that was really
He tells this to me all the time.
That's very cool. It's a photographer.
The next poem is going to be, you're not going to like that one as much as the one I just did if you keep what those recorded. See there, I'm saying that.
So it is a great honor, a great pleasure. Sure. And thrilled to be conscious, to be.
It's going to start any minute.
We're good. We're good. You were good.
Men succeed where women are sluts.
I think I just remembered it. Men succeed where women are sluts. Men who are loud are alpha masculine. The loudest monkey is king. Their females are expected to cower. Women who are loud are not feminine. Women who are loud are sluts. Men succeed where women are sluts. Men who draw attention to themselves are funny and sexy. A confident peacock struts his colors. Their females are expected to swoon. Women who do not swoon are frigid, bitches, and bull dykes. Women who draw attention to themselves are sluts. Men with multiple partners are studs. Women with multiple partners are sluts. White males have the vote, then black males, then women. Women who do not wait patiently without complaint are premenstrual or just need to get laid. Once laid, they are sluts. This is getting good. The 10 richest men in the world are 7.5 times richer than the richest women. Bill Gates, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett, and Donald Trump are successful. Madonna is a slut. If a woman is raped in Afghanistan by a familiar, she is murdered. If a woman is raped in America by anyone, she is asked what she was wearing. Women who are raped are sluts. A wife or mother receives no income. A career woman gets paid 2/3 of a man's salary for the same job and just needs to get laid. One is a slut for one man, the other is a slut for no man. Both are sluts. Women with unpaid or paying jobs are sluts. Men who visit sluts are heroes, lonely husbands, politicians, televangelists, and teenagers who just need to get laid. Women who are sluts are just sluts. Across the board, women score lower than men in a poetry slam. Women who slam are sluts. Men succeed where women are sluts. I'm loud, I vote, I'm a mother and a fucker and a loud motherfucking cocksucker. I have bad language and a career I've created for myself. I get laid on a regular basis. I perform my poetry in slams worldwide. I'm a poet and a slammer and a skinny little slut. I'm proud to be a woman from the depths of my gut. Men succeed where women are sluts. So score this, motherfucker.
Yeah!
I knew you'd like that one. He's kind of a slut too. See? Be proud to be a slut.
No.
Proud to be a
Women
slut.
are better than that. I agree with everything you said.
Thank you.
Because men are bullshit.
Well, it's funny too.
Except sometimes.
It's funny because I remember performing that poem in LA, and a guy comes up to me and he's like, "Well, I really did like your poem. I mean, I didn't agree with it." And I was like, "Well, you know, those are what's called statistics. So it's not really about your opinion on them or disagreeing with them. There is a reality to it, but you know, what can you do?" One more.
Yeah, give us a
One.
nice closer.
Nice closer. Okay. As we talked about.
Nice in the original.
Not nice in Guy's definition, but
Yeah.
he's laughing back there. I was telling this lovely lady that there was a poem I wrote, and in Italian it would be "Salivo perché volevo volare." In English, it's "I climbed because I wished to fly. I left my safe but rocky place and lifted myself high. But when I looked, I saw above, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. I started out to find you, but only saw myself. And so I left my arms and legs and lifted myself high. I saw above and so much more, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. Over rocks, my senses leaving my crawling, striving mind. I glimpsed you far ahead of me, leaping over trees. I glanced above and saw much more, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. You gave me gifts of little wings and crowns of silver sky, then dropped me down to teach me why and see you from inside. I looked within and saw much more of darkness, and I was left to dive. But if I fall, will I then fall to you or to my death? Will I stand and stare here long? I cannot, cold and dying. I love you more than certainty and see you from inside. And so I wait to make my leap, to fall from empty highs. I cannot know what I will find, but trust and love my life with you. I'll fall because I wish to fly. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We have 6 poets coming up after, and some of they are stellar. So hang out, schmooze. She has materials, books, CDs, and everything for sale. So check that out. Come up and talk to your neighbors, befriend yourselves, and like I say, in about 10 minutes we'll have our second half beginning. Thank you so much.
Oh, the sign up listen here and handouts are over there for the email. If you want that. You know, I think you just gotta let it hang out.
Yeah, you gotta loosen up.
Loosen up.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
So much.
Yes, Oh, yeah, she does the poetry contest in Arizona.
Yeah, she said you were one of her judges.
Oh, yeah, I've done haiku and rhyming things. It's my fault. Oh, good, Gary. Oh, so you're the guys with the same last names. I'm not a poet. It's okay, you don't have to be a poet. You like it?
It's your website, so I can email them right away.
It's probably in there, but I'm not sure if find it. Yes, but we're out.
Yeah, then maybe I'll send you an email.
With the same hat.
I need that.
Same style. Similar style. I was thinking, like glasses and a hat.
I think it's gonna be better. It's a little wordy. That was the first time I read that one.
Well, that's why I say. Look at it.
And
He's a
well,
fellow
it came out just
scholar.
like a year before. And I didn't know it came out.
There is something, it's weird.
Back there, and it was one of her
It's been really hard.
and they come up to me and they go, I love this woman, you know, she goes, we're here to help you. We're here to help you.
She's been doing a lot of publishing, and a lot of baseball. And she actually got it
You might have known Thomas. Well, he was the artist. He didn't have a lot of meat on him.
Now it's like the fourth, Wisconsin.
Well, you probably know the state. It's kind of
Just the whole state in terms of per capita.
Really?
Yes, it's not bad. And the unemployment, I know, and it used to be in Friday, like, working class environment. But it turns out, it's good.
And I'd say, I tell people, you know, I just
So
really
it's been bad, yeah.
I can't imagine dying with two children.
I think it would be.
Well, you know, he was very stoic in his death.
I just think it's, I mean, there are conservative parts of Wisconsin, but let's face it, it is not, she is not the condition of the state. So even to think that there's some kind of money and corruption, I know, and you know, it's terrifying, it's like, I'm sure what's gonna happen if he doesn't get his
He did before. Luckily, his neighbor heard
he'll
it.
get his cheese,
And came up
he'll
with it.
go
But I'm sure you will.
Well, did you go to climate demonstration?
Well, I can't remember. I'm new. I got
A lot of Indian people.
Oh, well, yeah. You know, Penny? Penny Oakland. Well, she's really,
There's this great movie out, and I think it's called, well, yeah, her and my 3 years old. Anyway, it's about Bush. Bush's brain maybe.
Well, they're really good people.
And where he goes down and talks to
My
the
dearest
person, and he
friend
says,
right
well, if
now
you're having
is
trouble with your economy, and she goes, yeah. And he says, probably so.
She's from Bowling. They're all from Bowling.
And she looks at him like, yeah, it's in it, it's on live. I mean, it's showing his face and he smirks after that.
My anniversary button on it.
There was a documentary
You were good. Thank you. I'll be coming through like I was supposed to. Hey,
Well, good.
every week. Coming back with a whole
Bye. Thanks so much.
You know, like how those there
Yeah, she's the best performance I've ever seen.
Sorry.
So you're right, it's about you. Thank you for coming all the way from LA.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hey, man, it was
Oh, you're here.
Just a little one information I believe the source of our one thing it didn't.
Yeah, it's true.
But the earthquake did. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Anne Cameron's Daughters of Oh, you loved it. You will be sad, you will be happy,
After the break.
you will laugh,
Really?
you
You
will
break it open?
be thrilled, you will jump.
You're the first person. We're starting 2 minutes.
No, I got that.
You ready? 2 minutes?
During my 8 years at the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, of course,
Yeah,
a big part of my education was Western
That was a great show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You were cool.
Yeah,
You were cool. You were cool.
You're bad, dude. You're bad.
Every weekday, you can catch him.
I'm loving it. You're a great show.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Navajo.
It is a chocolate.
Yeah.
Still got to be sick. It's got eggs and milk.
Yeah.
That was the longest
Flour.
walk in 1978.
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
That one that made everything.
Dark chocolate's been pointed out.
Religious rights, political rights,
Yeah.
resources, transportation, and what's on. So, people got active, we got reactive.
Yeah.
A lot of people showed up. The walk itself across the country was not small, but I was lucky enough to do that.
There was a lot of tears too, something with the Trail of Tears, I think.
Yeah, that was sure.
Sure.
Well, the other piece of information is
Cool.
Eastern Iroquois were very violent.
Oh, they all were
tribe,
before the
but Eastern Iroquois was extremely and that's the sign yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was a problem, that was a problem.
We're coming back. Just let you know for the second half, ladies and gentlemen, if you can take your seats, get yourselves ready for a really big shoe, as they used to say in the old days. A really big shoe. The second half is not as long as the first half, so let me give you the names of the people who are coming up. We're going to open the break with Tom Holmberg. Then we have Michael and Richard Morris, father and son, sequentially. Is Shanty here still? Did Shanty go? I thought so. And then we have Jack. Jack? And then Garrett. I know Garrett's here. All right. So we'll take care of business in due course. Have a seat. Let yourselves get ready. And Tom Holmberg, give him a round, please.
Hi there, I'm Tom Holmberg, and I'm glad to be with you again. And thank you for your
Inspiration.
Oh yeah, you too. Okay. Looking out west from Ocean Beach at night. There is a zest in the breeze. We see a silver ribbon on the crests of the waves reflected from the moon as it pulls sea to the shore. We close our eyes for a moment of respite. It could be the crash of a kitten's paws on a big down comforter. And wriggling on crisp, clean sheets. It might be her raspy tongue scraping the fish and chips off of a day-old newspaper. We hear sirens, red lights tap us on the shoulders. We realize Land's End is not the end of the world after all. We turn toward the electrical lights, towards home, to put covers over us. The water laps after us, even though it does not follow all the way. Oh, a cool, dark place to be warm. We are hungry. We know the way. The smartphone advises us where to stop. En route. Wouldn't it have been? What's that?
I didn't start any trouble.
That was one of those late at night things.
I guess.
This is a question. Why does a pigeon make a nest on a back stairwell where the trash chute swells to the roof?
I don't know. Why?
Is it a post? Oh, is it a pest? Not except for its need for shelter against the wind. The window has been left open by someone not anticipating the necessity of that bird. When you drop a sack of refuse down the chute, there is a flapping. The bird is scared, and I am startled. The eggs are so new and white and small and symmetrically elliptical. It's a true story. You want one more?
No. Yeah. Do more.
Okay, no?
Fire away. Fire away.
Expose yourself to righteous indignation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was a shorty, but his pants were long.
That reminds me of a horrible joke.
Yeah.
Like most
If you were only in bikini underpants and it snowed on you, how long would you stand for that? Would you do a dance? If everyone around you spoke a language which you did not understand, how long would it take for you to say something? Okay, one more. I have been thinking. If I asked you to come over for a talk for no good reason, would you do it?
Yeah. Okay. I would do that a lot more. Use your second. Yeah. Okay, so
you could have got 6 more out of there.
I know. Okay, so this is the joke he made me think of. So when I give you the line, you say, just say no to the question. All right? I have to have this chair here. Did you hear about the man with 5 penises?
No. No.
Can't spit him like a book. All right. Sorry about that. It's a graphic joke. All right. Excuse me.
No longer teaching
Michael
elementary school.
Morris, come on up here. Oh yeah, you're still on. I got you. Your name is there. Our meeting teacher has arrived. Come around. Michael Morris, and then we got Richard Morris, and there's a wonderful singing musician right there who could, if he wanted to, burst into this scene. Just like you walk in and knock it. All right, go ahead, my friend. Now I remember you. Because this right here, this is where I remember. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
A little bit of introduction. I moved to the area last July from Arizona, and I love it here. This is where I want to spend the rest of my life. But I'm all alone now, and I'm on this wonderful journey. I'm not an artist that uses words normally. I'm an artist that uses images. I do black and white film photography. But I was given a gift by the universe of 3 poems over the last 6 months, and I'm going to share them. First one is train. The painted cars along the side tracks, the fences covered with words and images, racing past as the gentle rhythm of the train gives rise to fanciful thoughts and dreams. The soft conversations create a hum and buzz that melds with the sounds of the wheels running on the track, and sudden explosion of sound as an oncoming train zooms past. The conductor announces the next stop, and the train slows. The exchange of voices, colors, and smells as passengers are exchanged, giving rise to new hope and expectations. The train slows, and now is my turn to be exchanged. The song continues, but I can only hear it as it fades in the distance, with the rhythm and melody lingering in my soul. There is a peacefulness and harmony there in the song that calls me back to once again join and celebrate the union of rhythm, melody, and aroma.
Oh yeah, raise it.
I say that with our
Yeah.
You got some.
You don't have to lick it.
You got some elders over there.
Where?
Okay, is this better?
Oh my God, it's better.
Okay. This is mountain. There's a place far away where the clouds kiss the mountain peaks, where the clouds embrace the slopes, sending life-giving rain to the mountain, where the raindrops holding hands race down the stream beds toward the sea. There's a place far away where the squirrels are gathering food to the coming winter, where they play amongst the trees, where the doe nibbles grass at the edge of the glade, while she watches her fawn playing, running, jumping in the exploration of the new world it has discovered. There's a place far away where the trees stand straight and tall, brushing the sky in their majesty, where berry bushes are loaded with fruit for the birds, where the leaves are turning to their spectacular display of color, while the reds and yellows merge with the diminishing greens of summer. There is a place far away where the cool breezes of autumn mingle with the traces of summer heat, where the winds blow to signal the change that is inevitable, where the stars at night sparkle with renewed clarity and definition, while the mountain prepares for the chill winds of winter. There is a place far away that calls to me, saying, "Here I am. Here is where you belong," where the changes are inexorable and exciting, where the beauty is ever present and ever changing, while sustaining the life within and without. But it is too far away to touch. It is too far away to see. It is too far away to visit. While my heart yearns for what it can't have, it can still dream. This is tears mixed with the blood. All that I am, all that I have, given freely and thrown down. My tears mixed with blood. Loved ones fresh and beautiful, now stale and rancid. I was there, you left. I waited, you did not return. I left, you looked to see if I was there. My tears mixed with blood. I can wait no longer. You cannot come to me, nor any longer can I to you. The distance grows more with each day, tearing and ripping, tears flowing as a river mixing with my blood. I will roll the stone from my heart, it will beat, it will celebrate, it will grow strong again. The blood will flow without tears, and the sun will shine again.
Thank you, Michael. And now Richard, I think this is Charity. Charity, I think, left. And then we have Jack and then Karen. But first, Richard coming up here. Richard Morris is coming here. Very good. Come on. You're liking this, Richard.
Before I start reading mine, I just want everybody to know that was his first time ever reading poetry.
Oh, really?
Huh? He lives in the city?
San Jose.
That's a city.
That's close enough. Close enough to government work.
That's a hockey team.
Yeah.
This first one's called Aborted Rescue. What of nail-driven plyboard? What of hammerhead shark? What of beached whale's scarred belly? What of masses swam through oil slick? What of me? What of stone? What of this heart? I do not feel you, mother. I do not mourn this cancer. Etched on your cracked skin, I stumble through hardened sands. I will not cry for you, mother. And we have killed you in the name of mercy. Gabriel will sing the psalm of blood and ash in that hollow tree of ranking cast, but that will not resurrect your song any more than bullets can bring life. This child you have borne has grown emaciated on your flesh, never enough to sustain life. They kill you, mother, to find breath. They kill you, mother, to find shelter. They kill you, mother, to find wealth and mine headstones out of your teeth. I cannot save you, mother, so I do not even try. Where can we bury you with your 6 billion miscarriages? No, I think cremation awaits. Get swallowed by your own son, this circle of feeding off the damned, so I am left to wonder what will come next. After the remnants of your body manifest in molten core and outer crust, your eyes burning with eruption and creation, will you rebuild from the ashes, echoing the sacrifice? Your cheekbones risen high, I imagine Mount Rushmore as jagged granite, the troughs in your palms set right, Chaco Canyon no longer historical, great walls be dammed and damned rivers be free, will your fingers grasp at the sea, riptide and breaking waves? Your oceans once again teem with whale song on coral reef, I imagine a beach, seashell pristine, the only glass would be the sand. Yet as I picture this expanse, unsoiled by the hands that write curses on the land, I wonder, without the scars we carved upon your flesh to remind you of our nature, will you remember our cost, our promise of paradise lost, and choose a different path? Still questioning, at what point are we no longer worth a rebirth of man, and hoping that time has not already come to pass. This is entitled Drift Away. Drift away into the breeze of morning, soft touch of yesterday's tomorrows, and smell the brewing potential of failures and trophies. See what the sun holds in store this day, and touch the ceiling fan into silence. Those stairs of ambition rose too high before, now leveled off, and leathered shell of hallway banister frozen by dry ice. This is the life to wake to. The kiss of pinky toes on corner door jambs and lip-smacked soles pasted to tile installed before taste was found. Drift away into oven room with birthday cake burnt like pale skin resting on lead-painted counter. Run the hot water into sink, now divorced, and clean the dishes drooled upon by swine. Set aside the caffeine needles and reach for the iodine-flavored water with cream. Pick up the stitch thread placebo and open the door to gunshots of concrete. These heavily trafficked asphalt footpaths with body-armored civilians seem silent. The buildings of dust and disappointment sport yellow grass and dandelions. Do not miss the turn from dead end to cul-de-sac as time clocks cannot wait. This is the life to wake to. The drum of monotonous pleasure and stained glass smiles. Drift away into barred cubicles of dehydrated imagination and ample typing soundtrack. Into cooler filled with antidepressant spiked seltzer and jello shots of donuts. Into boardrooms properly named and ergonomic elevators constantly out of order. Into headphone music of death or threat thereof and sales calls for senators unknown. Drift away into sunset and the yawning call of unkept bedding. Arms a mechanical dance of connection and fulfillment never found. Goodnight kiss of chapped lips and forgotten flavor of soul lost amid punch-out times and dreamless wings of unrealized goals. Drift away into these cotton fields of shackled breath. Drift away with the touch of yesteryear's jilted angels. Drift away until steel-coated alarm sounds rooster for roster call, and morning once again announces the to-do list of fingernails and steam engine carts. Drift away. Drift away. Do I have time for one more short one?
It's about a minute. Yeah.
Okay. At 17, I was hit by a SUV as I was riding my bicycle to school, and this point explores that, entitled Mosaic of Scars. At 17, my body became a rippled constellation etched across the windshield of an SUV. That circus of splintered stars tattooed my skin as if to leave a guide in how to wear damaged like a tuxedo when all I could see was this closet of ugly. 3 years later, she asked me why I saw myself as a sideshow attraction. I told her, at 17, a woman's hurried eyes became colorblind to the stoplight and taught me how to fly. I was an astronaut, floating, just long enough to see how fragile and broken a body can be before the gravity sunk back in, leaving my battered bones bent like origami on the asphalt. I swear, sometimes I can still see the crimson in my reflection, still hear the tires clog the earth beneath fingernail tread. My entire life has been spent on the wrong side of stunning, but I told her at 17, I became a car crash. That is when her face twisted into a question mark. Her fingers tracing the scars along my jaw. Entranced, she said, "There is so much beauty in this shattered glass."
Yeah.
You still can't ride my bike.
Thank you so much. The poet that's coming up is really a very special person. Great voice, great poems. And Garrett, you have books with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he always brings a few books with him, so that's something to think about. I have a couple of them. It's really great. So bring Garrett Murphy up here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Garrett Murphy.
One announcement is I'm going to be co-featuring the Frank Betts Center in Alameda. It's this coming Saturday at 7 p.m. and my co-feature is Gail Mitchell.
And Garrett.
So anyone planning to be on the island city, you'll have that to look forward to. It's coming Saturday. And I'll just read a couple of pieces tonight, because I've been on the men from of the Terrible Cove over a little over under almost a week ago. Macho, man up. John F. Kerry, armchair general, of course, in his own mind, Kerry wanted to be a macho man, so he behaves true to worm like most of his ilk, and manages Edward Snowden to do today what he, mighty Kerry, couldn't quite bring himself to do in 2004. Man up, he barks as if he knew the slightest thing about manhood. Kerry wanted to be a macho. The illusionary ideas about manhood aside, he must be trying with the usual desperation to appease the other bogus real men, you know, the hot air pundits and parody of foxes, salivating wet dreams about meeting Snowden at the airport when he lands on U.S. soil to face the music of rifles and machine gun fire, tenderizing this most heinous traitor into a modern-day Ninoy as though they were the cartoon hood Rocky Men off on violin. Macho man. Kerry wanted so bad to be a macho. No racist placed Black History Month in February. You've probably heard of this modern day myth. They went and put Black History Month in February, the shortest month of the year. Yes, you heard it right. A myth, that's all it is. There's a lot of things can be placed on a racist and with all kinds of credibility to boot, but this isn't one of them. For you see, the person responsible for the month of Black History celebrate was a black man, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Woodson was a historian who, seeking a means to ensure that the history of black folk would not be lost, established a week of celebration called Negro History Week. But why, you ask a more likely whale, if this Woodson guy was so concerned about black pride and sense of history that he picked little February, the shortest month of the year? February was a month in which Dr. Woodson's foremost heroes, Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, whose importance to black history were both without question, were born. And of course, Negro History Week became Black History Week, became Black History Month. And given the immense impact of Dr. Woodson's creation, what on earth would make anyone believe that some silly racist could invent and plant a Black History Month? A racist didn't put Black History Month in February. A racist couldn't put Black History Month in February, or do much of anything bordering on the worthwhile. So don't give any racist so much of credit. Black history is just too big in importance and magnitude for some races to carry so much as a fraction, much less place. And besides, haven't you heard the adage about big things coming in small packages?
Like he says, featuring at the Frank Pet Center for the Arts in Alameda. Our mini feature for the evening is Benjamin. He's going to come up. The mini feature gets about 8 minutes, so he's going to take us into the afterlife here, and then we'll take care of these fancy prizes. So give Benjamin a nice round of applause. As he comes up here bravely into the breach one more time.
Alright, sorry I was so late. Left my wallet behind somewhere and had to find it. Alright. I wasn't planning on 8 minutes, so we'll see. We got a few poems here selected. This one is it's called 9 to 5. Falling out of your chair is one of the most exciting things you can do in an office. Other than hooking up with a secretary or I guess a coworker, especially in the bathroom or cleaning closet or something like that. But outside of the morally questionable, the fall from the chair is most exhilarating. Why? Well, of course, because you go from leaning back, thinking you're chilling, to, oh shit, am I gonna die? Within 1/2 of 1 second. Does it hurt? Maybe the ego, but physically? Probably not. Unless you're a wimp. Just play it cool. I like to laugh louder than I really should. You know, just to show that I don't care. Because shit happens in life. But everyone knows. That's the story of today's 9 to 5. Thank you very much. Alright, this is called Laundromat. There's a party at the laundromat. I walked in with my party clothes on, because that's all I had left clean. I thought it was weird that everyone else was in the same predicament at the same time as me. They also brought booze and drugs. Shit, I saw a girl do a line off of some dude's Achilles tendon on top of a laundry detergent dispensing machine. I don't know how they did it. I mentioned this to someone who didn't find this amusing. I was super confused. So I just went and put all my laundry in the biggest available washing machine near the back and walked out. When I got outside and started rolling a joint, I realized I hadn't started the washers. And I was naked. I decided to ditch the laundry immediately. But I had no getaway clothes. I put on some sunglasses and walked slowly back into the laundromat. Now I saw why no one seemed amused at the party coincidence I noticed earlier. Bigger things were at bay. I grabbed all my clothes out of the washers and put them back in my bag without bending over or making eye contact with anyone. I remembered to put clothes on in the middle of this process. I chose my t-shirt that is a fake sleeveless v-neck Christmas reindeer sweater and my blue graduation suit. They were both very wrinkled, as was I. Who knows about the others? I walked out and decided tonight was not the night for me to do laundry. Too much action. As I was leaving, I noticed a sign on the door. It said, "Party at the laundromat." Thanks.
Pretty short.
Yeah. No. I met one wild guy from the neighborhood over there one time. Alright, this one is mind control. 7 is a magical number, and the roll of a dice is random. The choice is yours. Destiny decides, or you impose, assumed to be amused because you think. But your fundamental choice is the frequency that instigates future, stars and galaxies, perspective, properly observed. Huh? Electrons move when we talk. Is that true? Can I move you? Change you? Fuck you. Nah, for real. Fuck you. You're not listening. Stop fucking chatting while I'm reading. Just kidding. I love you. I really do. If I can help you, let me know. See, this is mind control. And the real question is, when you know, where do you go? You can manipulate and control. That becomes the obligation of the role. Self-gain, ego manifestation, imposing your will. For what? What will be the use of your genius? Can you even ask yourself that question? My answer is to share, to give, to live, as if nothing is mine, everything is ours, and love conquers all. Goodbye and thank you. May peace, love, and joy be the wind at your back.
Alright, so this is the concluding portion of the evening where we introduce the prizes and we distribute them. And the thing is, like, if you come up here because you win one, the odds are high because there's a lot of prizes and a lot of people, you can decide to take one and give it away as a present, which you may want to do.
Would you kindly shuffle these, please, so they're randomized?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm good.
Hello, I must be going. Charlotte Chandler, and it's all about Groucho Marx.
Is this important?
Yes, it is.
Is this job important?
Yes, it is. Marx and Engels, Basic Writings on Politics and Philosophy, edited by Louis F. Vallejo. The Journal of Albion Moonlight by Kenneth Patchen. As you can see, it's a work in progress. The Spirit of Zen, A Way of Life, Work and Art in the Far East by Alan Watts. Brilliant. This was donated by Stephanie Manning, Nature Conservancy. A lot. It always has lots of little articles and they're very nice. And then this is the American Scholar, with writers aplenty. And then you can either indicate you want to be the keynote speaker or the mini for next week, but you have to show up. All right. So the cards have been shuffled. I'm going to cut them.
Louis.
Oh, I didn't cut them. Yeah.
Follow directions, please.
Left them,
There
left
you
them
go.
over there.
Follow directions. All right. So anyway, a drum roll. Well, this must be Jean Marie because she is the feature of the evenings, and she should come up and claim one of these fine prizes designed with her, like I say.
Hey, come on, gas that gets it done.
Lucky today.
Yes, you are lucky today.
Well, I
Marks and angles.
Mark Joker.
have.
Mark Joker.
Yeah,
What do you think Mark Joker got all that?
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're ready.
Mark Joker.
Woohoo! Drum roll.
Oh,
Garrett Murphy, the next winner of the evening. If you're going to come next week, you can do the mini feature. You have to do the mini feature. Then the other prizes are like scholar, feature. This is cool. This might be good. I don't know. We'll try. And remember, you can always think about giving it to a friend. A friend. There we go. It's all right. Not bad. And Richard. The odds are high because there's 8 prizes and like 10 people there or something like that.
So if I take 8, that's what I get.
Yeah, you can. I can do it. Want to do it?
Yeah, let me do it.
Okay. I don't think so.
He might give it to you right now. Those two are big.
Okay. Okay. Now that's yeah, you just show up and Michael Morris.
And there's your email.
Don't do this at home. I'm a practiced professional. So any one of these 5 prizes could be yours. You could do the keynote if you wanted to, but I read everything that I
You haven't read
that? No. Oh. Well, you could read something.
Just put 11:11:14.
Okay, I'm just telling you. People say, can I read somebody else's? Of course you can read somebody else's. Did I just call Richard? I didn't call Richard.
The other Richard.
The other Richard Morris.
The other Richard?
The other Richard.
So
any ask this or this, either of these, or if you want to come back next week, you can do this, but I don't know. Oh, you don't want Mark. This might be. Wow. It's like a proverbial draw. Jimmy! You got either the scholar, Arts and Angles, or the keynote.
It's my turn.
Yes, you can take.
I get my own book.
That or this.
Well, you know that.
Oh, I get to do something?
That's the take of the keynote has it. You'll show up next week.
Do I take this with me?
No, you just tell me yes or no.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How big keynote? How many hours is that?
17,000. And Buford, Ida.
I'm switching over to comedy slowly but surely.
And then Owen, you're the next guy. Would you like Marks and Angles?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Because you can always read it and sell it because it's very valuable.
First president, 1927. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for showing up. Give yourself a round of applause if you read or enjoyed reading or something. There we go. Very nice. Come back next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat station. The oldest, longest running poetry open mic that we know in the unknown universe.
Will you tell another great joke like you did tonight?
I will try to remember another great joke. Oh, what's the difference between snot and broccoli? Kids don't eat broccoli. Sorry about that. That's an elementary school joke. Anyway, come back. We enjoy it. 7 o'clock. Thank you. And thank you out there, Mr. Campbell-Dash, wherever you are.
Good. Make a deal.
Someone, like people give me things to give away. So then sometimes I read them first.
Well, Hanson, I think seriously we ought to go back to your approach and deal a mortal blow to that Ned Busker. I'd slap him upside the head and make him cry tomorrow.